There are a couple of momentum stocks that are on the upswing that our momentum equity strategist Dave Bartosiak wants you to know about. So we invited him over to have him tell you. First one is IntelliQuint, which is a VoIP and Ethernet services provider?
For carriers. There's kind of like behind the scenes, so to speak. They're out of Chicago, which is cool.
Interesting.
Also, Zach's ranked #1 buy. They just beat last quarter, had a decent beat, and that caused the stock to kind of spike up a lot. But we've pulled back, since that spike up, and that's what I like. That's what I'm always trying to see in these, right? Mm-hmm. Both of these stocks also popped up on my momentum screen that I do. So that way that they've been beating the market on a relative basis. They've had a recent earnings surprise as well as a revision of the upside. So you got a lot of good stuff there. And then now on the technicals, you have a stock that broke all the way up to a new 52-week high. Mm-hmm. But after doing that, it kind of pulled back a little bit, right? So it's given us an opportunity here, I think, where we can get in and make a little money. So if you look at this from a technical standpoint, I like to use that 25.5 all the time, right? So I'm always talking about. So the 25.5 is that 25-day moving average shifted to the right by 5 days, right? So as long as that stock is trading above that, we're going to be in an uptrend. If it's below that, it's in a downtrend. But the slope of that moving average can tell you a lot too. If it's positively sloped, then you're in an aggressive uptrend. If it's got a negative slope to it, you're probably in more of a negative downtrend, if you're below it. Mm-hmm. If it's sideways, then you're kind of stuck in a range-bound market. So what you do then, and what I did with IntelliQuint, is you kind of see where is the support during that range and where is the resistance of the range. And here with IntelliQuint, we had that kind of support and resistance from 13 to 15 basically, right? It was kind of our window. Okay. And then we had a day last week where it shot way up above but came and pulled back. Now some people would look at that and say, oh, it failed, it's not going to make it, forget about it. And I'd agree if we were back down into a downtrend right now, but we're not. We're still on the bullish side of things, right? So what that did is that kind of cleared the way up there above 15. So I think you'll see the stock start to kind of, inch up there a little bit.
All right, and we're doing this on May the 7th, so anybody who wants to reference on the calendar last week will have that reference point. All right, and the other company is Exterran Holdings. That's a natural gas compression company. What does that mean?
Yeah, so, we've got all this nat gas out there, right?
Yeah.
Big boom, in Texas, and then all the way up to the Bakken, and I heard they found a bunch of gas in Kansas now. I guess they're going to do. Yeah, oil and gas. They're going to start drilling there. Yeah. So we need to find a way to get this gas from point A to point B, right? Mm-hmm. And so what people have been talking a lot about is this kind of, we got to liquefy this natural gas. Well, how are you going to get a gas down to the liquid, right? You got to compress it. You got to cool it. That's that's how it works. So they're a major component in that. Okay, they do a lot of that business. And so if down the line, regardless of where you stand politically, if the U.S. begins to export natural gas eventually, right, what are they going to be doing with it? They're going to be compressing it, they're going to put it on tankers, and then we're going to send it around the world. So that this company is going to be a key cog in that. That's just part of the story. And you know me, I'm not the story guy, right? I'm the momentum stock guy. But it's beat 9 out of the last 10 quarters. So that's pretty consistent history of beating, and I think the last beat was like 42%. So really good numbers from an earnings standpoint. But now if we look at the chart, similar story to what we saw with IntelliQuint, right? Had been kind of trucking upward, pulled back a little bit, consolidated. Then they got good numbers, boom, shot up to the upside. And this was just yesterday. And again, you said today's the 7th. So yesterday was the 6th.
Right.
They reported yesterday, had a huge spike up, but that Russell 2000 and the NASDAQ were trying to drag everybody down yesterday, and they succeeded. So this thing was up something like 9.5% earlier in the day, and I think it's settled to be up 5, something along those lines. Today it's actually down a little bit. So I think you're getting a great story and a great stock on sale right here. But from a technical standpoint, it's not really that horribly overbought, because you had this little bit of a pullback today and it's off from where the highs were. I think it's a really good play for the next few months.
Okay. Own either of these?
No.
Had to think about it, didn't you? You can go to Zacks.com if you're not there already. Check out some other stock picks and stock picking strategies, and check back often because they change often. With Dave, I'm Terry Ruffalo.